Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Listening to folk songs, enjoying my new home of Tucson. When I heard something wrong, a woman in a hippie type shirt, she came up to the stage to make a general announcement. She said, make sure you don't take your beers outside. If you get caught, you'll be going for a police car ride. Let me get this straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can carry a gun, but you can't carry a beer. You can set it on the ground and use it as a target, but you can't drink it there. I sure could use me some Maria. Well, I met a handsome man at the cantina. He said you knew that they show you around town. And I noticed something below his belt buckle. I was flattered what I thought I had found. As we walked out the door, I looked down and said,
Welcome, everybody. This is Jackie Bertoni and Jackie's Groove. It's a beautiful Monday, May 9th here in Southern California. The song you just heard is from my in-studio guest today. She's a award-winning filmmaker. She's a best-selling author, and my personal favorite, she is an amazing singer-songwriter, producer, director, all-around crazy, crazy girl. You know, we do things differently here on Jackie's Groove. We keep it real, and that's our whole vibe here, is to keep everything real. We're unrated. This is not a G-rated program, so there'll be some F-bombs dropping, especially with my guest today. She's open-minded, she's open-hearted, and she's just an open book. So with that said, I want you guys all to welcome with open arms and open ears my dear friend, the lovely and talented Mrs. Linda Chorney. Linda, welcome to Jackie's Groove.
It's so cool to be here, Jackie. How are you?
Oh, man, you know what? This is cool. We've been looking forward to this, girl. We've been talking about the last month about doing this, and today is the day.
Yeah, well, you didn't play my typical music on the first cut. I was like, oh, he's playing the Cantina first, which is, of course, a goofy song that expresses how much I think the laws in Arizona are just whacked when it comes to guns.
And we're going to get to that point because that is a song that's featured on your amazing film called Opening Act, and we're going to delve deep into that. And folks, this is a film that's won 2 awards so far, and I'm sure many more to follow. And as we get going on this interview, we're going to get deep into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about political views. Her, Linda, myself, we share the same views, and we're going to have fun doing this itself. So, Linda, with the multitude of interviews that you do, let's do things a couple different ways here. First, I just want to find out. I mean, you're a Jersey girl. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I will correct you. You're wrong. I'm from Boston, but I lived in Jersey for about 8 years, 9 years, something like that.
Perfect. And I know that I'll have to fire my crew here. And the second part of the equation. Now, what brought you to the West Coast, almost the West Coast in Arizona? What brought you out this way?
My mom and dad, they retired from Massachusetts 20 years ago, and I wanted to be closer to them because I felt because they were getting on in their age that eventually they were going to need somebody to help them out. Plus, I love Arizona. I don't like cold weather. So I moved out here.
And I know it was from my heart. I know Mom was upstairs listening to you, right? God bless her heart.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when I said that eventually, I thought my folks would need me literally the moment I pulled up in the truck from Hurricane Sandy. We had moved from New Jersey, so we were in New Jersey. And I pulled up, and my dad says to me, Linda, Mom has cancer. And that was the day I arrived. So, by the way, I do have a beef with people who use the word literally that don't need to use it because it's a given if it's happening now. Literal is a distinction if it's not figurative or literal. So
dig it.
I have this thing about that. Literally bothers me.
Well, like I said, I've been really into this phone book of a book that you wrote. I love the title of it, and it's called Who in the F Is Linda Chorney, but this is Jackie's Groove, so the title I love to call is Who in the Fuck is Linda Chorney, and we're going to find out who the fuck Linda Chorney is during this 2-hour interview. That's going to go by at light speed, as it always has, so we're going to get more involved in that, but I want to talk, before we get into the movie side of it itself, I want to talk about how you and I met. We met through a mutual friend, Billy David. You were on an album called Living in California, and I was hired to do the percussion chair on that, and I fell in love with your voice immediately. You were so unlike everybody on that album, meaning the fact that you didn't have a Jamaican accent. And I wanted to find all of it.
The song with Yellow Man.
Yes.
Yeah, I produced that song, and I heard the tune, and I thought it was just a really cool song, a reggae party, and so I said, Billy, man, I think I could do this and that and make some structural changes, and then I put on the chorus with my backup vocals, and I think it's a great song. And so I didn't know you played percussion on that.
Yeah, I played on the whole. I play on all of Billy's albums,
Oh
and that's
my God.
how. Yeah, I got involved with you, and especially when you said, "Oh my God, it's Billy," it's Yellow Man, Billy David, and I just all of a sudden I go, "Who's this Valley girl that's not a Valley girl? She's got soul behind her." So, yeah, man. I mean, it's. And I'm going to assume that you met Billy through the Grammy.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, man, it's a great album. Billy's a great guy, and I think what you did on the album was amazing. Especially again, being the only white girl on that album was very, very cool. So.
Well, Billy, I don't think Billy's black, is he?
No, but only below the waist.
Oh,
Now, Billy,
not going to. How do you know that?
No, Billy. Well, that's because we go a long way. I've been working with Billy since the mid '90s with a great group from San Diego called Big Mountain. Their big hits are "Baby I Love Your Way" and the like. So yeah, and Billy is the one that built their studios, and on top of building the studios, he ran that whole organization. So that's how he and I became dear friends.
Oh, cool!
And no, I don't know
that.
He's the best.
Yeah.
And I know nothing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. We got a little bit of delay. I said I know nothing below his waist. I just know everything above his heart. He's just a wonderful person all the way around.
He is. We went to the San Diego Zoo together, and then what happened was he went over to Evan, who's his engineer, and we went to
great
his place.
Engineer.
He played me the track, and I'm like, let me just throw something down here. I was just there, and it took me an hour. I said, back it up to this part, and I laid down a chorus for him, and then I said, dude, you want me to produce this? Because this song's great. So that's what happened.
Yeah, his Evan Bosch is just an amazing young cat that that knows his way behind the board. So
he does.
He's done some incredible stuff. We're going to talk about you and your career musically, what's coming up musically, and we'll get deeper into that as we go later on itself. I just want to find out things about you that your listeners may or may not know. Do we have any children?
Not that I know of.
Good girl. Good answer.
Yeah.
And so let me just check that off my list here.
My albums are my children. I've got 7 kids now. So, and I always felt like when I was in a club, when I thought about having a kid, and I was playing in smoky bars, when you could smoke in bars, which was so disgusting. I could never imagine myself like, how am I going to play up there with my acoustic guitar sitting on my pregnant belly, inhaling this disgusting smoke, and I can't find the right guy to have the baby with. So it just never happened. Yeah.
And likewise, we're childrenless also by choice, and but godparents 7 times over. So there's a reason for everything, young lady. And and I wanted to find out something also. I know you're an amazing guitarist, but do you play any other instruments that we should know about?
Just acoustic guitar, and I play a little percussion myself. But it's so like on my new album, Oysters, I played the egg. And I did some other noises. And in fact, on the song "The Cantina" that you just played, my goofy song, we were trying to replicate a rhythm of horses' hooves clomping, right? So my engineer, Brian Phillips, who's actually in Los Angeles, we slowed down the tape, and I went with my tongue, and then when we sped it up, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
so,
you can accomplish that by this, the tonal blocks and so on, but it worked. It worked itself. And I love that movie. I've seen the movie twice. You gave me the benefit of having an advanced screening. I screened it once. I screened it with my wife, and it's for every musician that's out there, opening act should be in your DVD player on a regular basis. And again, we'll delve deeper into it. Linda, we're rolling down on the first segment. We're at 40 seconds left. When we come back from segment number 1 into segment number 2, we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick up the pace. We're going to talk about everything Linda Chorney, what Linda Chorney's into, what Linda Chorney's out of, and I'm going to introduce you to her talent and her sarcasm, and we'll do that real soon. Again, this is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned into Jackie's Groove on the Intertalk Radio Network. We are your music insider and the leader in the music industry, and we're breaking all records of this, and we're breaking records because of guests like I have in my studio today, Linda Chorney, and we're going to be bringing up some new music on every intro and every lead-in, and you can get a vibe of her talent all the way around. Again, this is Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove. You don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy Award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page, mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Undoing everything ever done in the 60s. So many sacrifices that were made for nothing. News is no longer news, and I can't find anything enough to know. We're dumbing down, screwing up all around 2015. Looking forward, moving backward to a crazy scene. Evil empire pulling all the strings, and it seems there ain't nothing we can do about it. Is there anything we can do about it? Who's gonna fight for the people? They tried to occupy Wall Street hand in hand. For the Republic, we don't know where to stand. Got shot down by the man, while the bankers got away scot-free. Half the country brainwashed by propaganda. Corporations being treated with more respect than people. Poisoning our food with an attitude too big to fail. Is there anything
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. As I said earlier, we're brought to you by the Intertalk Radio Network, your music insider. Hey guys, you know what? I want to say hi to some of our sponsors, the people that are keeping this big steamship afloat. I want to say hi to my brothers at Pitbull Audio, Calvin Lee, and all that motley crew over there for everything you need in the way of audio gear. You can visit them at pitbullaudio.com, where they just want you to play it loud. And also my dear friends at SIR, Studio Instrument Rentals, one of the greatest backline companies in rehearsal halls around. You can visit them at sir-usa.com. And, of course, I'm a little bit biased to this next sponsor. They're my drum choice, my percussion of choice for the past 26 years, my family at LP Music. And you can reach them at lpmusic.com. It's what the best players play. So with that said, you know what? I'm back with this ultimately talented woman. You just heard her song a little while ago, If You Feel the Burn. We'll talk about that. And she's a Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter producer. She's also a best-selling author, and she's an award-winning filmmaker. And this person I'm talking about is my in-studio guest today, the lovely, the talented, the ever-vivacious Miss Linda Chorney. Linda, welcome back, sweetheart.
You got me blushing.
You should. Hey, that last song, what's the genesis of that last song? I know. Explain to the people what that song is all about.
Well, it's called For the People, and it's on the new album, Oysters. And, in fact, Evan Bausch helped out with a rhythm on that album, on that song, on that track. But this song was written way the hell before this crazy race for the presidency, number one. But the same shit was happening. Like, it's so transparent with the cock blocking and the stubbornness of Congress not getting anything done. They do not care what the people want. They are only catering to the interests of their special interests, and it's disgusting. And it's so obvious. Yeah, and Donald Trump is no different. And I'm actually like nauseated that he's elected, although I just cannot see that he will win against anybody. I'm disappointed the Byrne probably isn't going to be the guy. But this song caters to who the candidates are. Really, it's like when is it going to be about the people, about the 99%?
Has it ever been though, girl?
No, man. Well, I guess I wasn't old enough, or I was too busy, getting laid to care about politics, but now that I'm not horny anymore, I pay more attention. So yeah, all my songs, my first 4 albums was just about me, pursuing men and the ups and downs of relationships and the ins and outs and breaking up and chasing after men and the heartbreak and now that's no longer part of the equation. So I have to find something else to write about. So it was
You got your man, baby. You got Scott. You hit pay dirt with that boy. So, and in my personal opinion, girl, you still fine. You're fine like wine, girl, like Vin Village wine. And it's disgusting what's going on in America. And I think but come on, we both know who the next president is. We know she's going to be in office, and that kind of, I said she. See what I just did right there? And,
but I'm hoping, look, I hope that Bernie has actually been an influence on her agenda. I still think he does have an RCH of a chance. And I, in my dream world, if she does get chosen, I hope she picks Bernie as her running mate. Wouldn't that be hands down?
Can you imagine those two harsh voices screaming on top of their lungs, trying to get the message across to the people? And I mean, you got this.
I picture Bernie pointing his fingers right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, Linda, on that last song, that had that really cool groove about it. And I've always said when I first heard your voice, you remind me of a friend of mine that I just, and I say this as a compliment. I hope you're going to find it as a compliment. But Sheryl Crow has been a friend and an inspiration over the years. And I hear a lot of your inflections in your voice, especially a song coming up, one of my songs that I love from you called Penguin Blues. And we'll bring that up on the next few segments itself. But with that said, who are Linda Chorney's musical inspirations?
Okay, well, I'll answer that question after I address. You're talking about Sheryl Crow. I opened for her in 1993 in Vail when I was working ski resorts. But when I played in the ski resorts, I would play my albums during the breaks. And people would come up to me during my breaks and say, hey, is that Cheryl's new album? And I'm like, no, that's me. And Cheryl wanted this gig on top of the mountain, sucking wind at 10,000 feet, but I got it. So it's always been not a curse, because it is a compliment. I love her voice, and I love her style and her songwriting. And I'm actually a year older than she is, so it's definitely a compliment, but I certainly wish I've had her success. That's for sure.
It's funny how things move around in 6 degrees of separation. When I viewed this, the opening act that you sent me, I didn't know, even in our times that we've talked, that you had the opportunity to open up for my old bosses, the Beach Boys, which was kind of cool. And then, of course, Cheryl's song called "Soak Up the Sun" was a tribute to Brian Wilson. So it's kind of cool how everything kind of leads into that situation of the California West Coast sunshine and how you had that opportunity. And I love the fact that you were hanging out with Bruce Johnson in the video. And,
he was so nice to me. He was really nice,
and it seemed like the audience. It seemed like the audience really got you. I mean, that's a tough audience, man. And I didn't get a chance to see exactly what you sang, what you played, but the applause from the audience showed that they actually accepted you all across the board. So that's a very cool thing.
Yeah, it was really nice, and it was really funny at the end. So I'm used to unplugging my gear. I don't have a roadie or anything. And when I was done with that set, and you saw, I got a standing ovation, and it was pretty cool. And then I unplugged my guitar to take it off with me, and Bruce was on the side as I got off, and he goes, Linda, you're a star, man. You got to just walk off that stage. Don't take the time to unplug your guitar and do that. Fuck that. He goes, just put it down and walk off. I was like, sorry, man, I was just unplugging my guitar. But
did you get a chance to hang out with? Did you get a chance to hang out with Mike Trump? I mean, Mike Love.
Was that a slip?
Yeah.
I actually didn't really speak with him. I sat with Bruce, backstage. We ate some food together, and he was there at my sound check, and he was just really kind, very kind to me. The whole band was great. It was. I mean, they sold my merch. They were incredibly supportive and generous with me, and it was a real honor opening for them. I wish I could have played with them.
Yeah, it's very cool. You know, there's never been a background vocalist, female vocalist, singing background with the Beach Boys, and I'd be kind of curious to find out why, especially from the fact that Brian's daughters, who I work with, Wilson Phillips, so, and again, that's another story of reason why they're not singing with their father. So, you know, who knows how this crazy industry works all the way around. We're the, and I was really proud to have, I was on the actual last Beach Boy album called Stars and Stripes Volume 1. It was the last album before the untimely passing of Carl Wilson. It was the last time the Beach Boys actually recorded as a full band, and I was so proud to play all the percussion on that album, and along with Timothy B. Schmidt and Willie Nelson, and the list goes down the line. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Did they record
Linda,
at East West that time?
No. I recorded, actually, that album was recorded in a place called River North Studios in Chicago, and we can talk more about that. It's part of the Platinum Entertainment Polygram family. So my buddy of mine, Joe Thomas, is the one that ran that, and a great producer. Mike, I'm going to introduce you to him as we talk about this offline. And look at Linda, we're already at the last 20 seconds of segment number 2. See how fast this is going?
Here.
It's moving, girl, like light speed. I'll tell you, you know what? It's going to get a chance. So what I want you to do is I want you to get up. I'm going to go empty my bladder because I'm 56 years old, and that's what I live for. And when we come back on segment number 3, we're going to pick this up where we're leaving off with my in-studio guest, the beautiful and talented and Trump-hating Linda Chorney. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these short messages. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
When the end falls out of love, it's time to go. When the end falls out of love, it's time to go. That's right. When the sun no longer shines, when he walks through the door, and my heart becomes cold and beats for him no more. When the end falls out of love, it's time to go. Another day, another minute, another second. I gotta hit the road. Here I go. When I am, here I go. It's time to go.
Wow. Everybody, that is from the beautiful voice and the writings of my in-studio guest today. This is Linda Chorney and a song called Penguin Blues. One of my favorite songs, definitely one of my favorite songs. That B3, if it was any fatter, girl. And everybody get a chance to go onto YouTube and type in Linda Chorney, Chorney, and Penguin Blues, and look at this video. It's a masterpiece in my personal opinion. So do yourself the favor. And also, too, when you guys are out on the road, we have a great listening audience on our live shows, but we have a massive listening audience on our archives. And if you can't find yourself to be around a computer, do yourself a favor and download our free iPhone and Android app. Just simply type in Intertalk, the first word, radio, and take us on the go wherever you go. You don't want to miss any of the shows coming up. And speaking of shows coming up, this coming Wednesday, the 11th, I've got one of my dearest friends, the percussionist for the legendary rock band Santana, Carl Parasso, will be coming on. He'll be sharing stories of our longevity, our lifetime together of 25 years, and what's going on in his life. And I've got my friend Steve Lukather, from the founding member of Toto, coming up, and my friends Rhonda Smith, bass player for Prince, and John Blackwell from Prince. Linda, you're in good company, and we're setting all records, man. Yeah, so we're looking forward to it, man. But let's talk about what's going on right now. I'm just real curious. We talked about your influences. We didn't get exactly who influenced you.
Segued, yeah.
But who influenced Linda Chorney? What got you that soulful sound behind you?
I grew up listening to classic rock. First concert I ever saw was Muddy Waters and the Allman Brothers.
Right.
And my parents had amazing taste in music, and they listened anywhere from Burt Bacharach to Brazil 66 to the Beatles to classic music. And I think I just loved that sound. I was weaned on that kind of organic stuff. And I can't compare myself to any of those people. They're just brilliant. But, for example, on Penguin Blues, which is my token blues song, I'm definitely not a blues singer. You
could have fooled me.
Well, thank you. But, I was surrounded by people who were amazing blues people who blew me away, like Lisa Fisher from the Rolling Stones was the backup vocalist on that, doing the stuff that I couldn't even dream about singing that way. It's just not in me. And you were talking about the Hammond B3. I had Leon Penn-Darvis, Penn from Saturday Night Live band. I had Sean Pelton on the drums. I had Pivar on bass and guitar.
And my buddy Bashiri on percussion, too, right?
Yeah, Bashiri, he's done a couple of my albums, but, maybe he can do my next one. And
that was the next question, girl.
Oh, cool. But, when you're surrounded by great players, it's kind of like, I know I'm segueing again, but, okay, on my album that got nominated, Emotional Jukebox, right. I had the greatest players in the world. I had a big, fat budget to pay the best players in the world. And I had my songs. And the point I'm making is, if you have the songs, the material, and the talent, minus the money, you're not going to be able to make as good of an album, unless, of course, you have really great friends who just step up and come up and say, man, I'll play on your album. I don't need the money. But I like paying my musicians. But, of course, if you have a huge budget, then, of course, you can have a greater album. You can take as much time as you want. You can mix it a few times. You can go to East-West. You can go to the best studios in the world. And my documentary, The Opening Act, which is actually about the rest of us, the 99% of us that possess the talent but don't always have the resources to make that great album. And so this is how we manage to do it anyway and still try to kick out good music.
In the opening act, everything about how you wrote that, directed it, starred in it, and laughed in it, and we're going to talk about that's got to be a whole different segment. So we'll pick that up on segment 4 because we're going to need a minimum of 1 or 2 segments on that. And it's like you said again, too, when you surround yourself with greatness, this stuff comes out great. And I tell people all the time, I can't tell you how many albums that people have always said, oh, Jackie, we really, really wanted you on there, but we didn't have the budget. And I said, listen, when you're fledgling and you're starting out itself, I started out at one time also. Don't worry about the money. Just remember, I'll go in there, I'll do it comp. Because the big guys, they pay big money. And just remember one thing. If your album becomes, or when your big album becomes a hit, just remember what I did for you. That's all I ask for in return,
right.
And you got to pay it forward. And yeah, Linda, as I said before, I've got to work on you. And this is going to be my own shameless plug, but we've got to work. We did one album together, and now we have to get my name on your album, which would be a great thing all the way around.
That would be awesome. I'd love that.
Yeah. And speaking of writing, what inspires Linda Chorney to write? What inspires you?
Well, I think I told you in the last segment that what used to inspire me was sex and love and lust and all that. And now that now that I'm older and I am in love, but I'm settled now, and I was pretty wild back in the day, and I was always looking for that challenge and the next person who was just going to make my heart just pound below and above the waist. And now, I've been there, done that, and just relaxed. And so what influences me now is whatever I'm feeling at the moment. Usually it's complaining. I'm usually like, oh, okay, I'm really annoyed. I'm really depressed. That person pisses me off. Let me write a song instead so I don't go nuts. So basically all of my songwriting is now therapy.
And it's a reason why we get along so well, at least I think we get along great, is you remind me so much of my better half. We're going on 33 years of marriage. My wife, Caprice, and you are both fucking nutcases, and that's what keeps me grounded around this girl itself. She was just in the studio a little while ago, and I said, come and say hi to Linda, but she went in the other room, and she kind of, I think she's laying down doing something here, because she's at that time of her life right now, too, that little thing called men on stop, or men on pause is around here, so, and... it's just the part about it's the beauty of having ovaries. That's the bottom line there, I guess. So, we don't want to have any dry sense of humor, no pun intended there either. So, but
hey,
you do what you have to do, and I just and we come back. I want to find out exactly, like you said, what motivates you. I'm sure there's times too where you can look back and you can think about things that inspired you at that time, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sex, or if it only was sex, and that then Godspeed on that. But if it was anything else that you heard on the radio that you liked, or that vibe, or just being out in the Arizona desert and, watching the quintessential tumbleweed go across. I mean, I don't know how you can write about a tumbleweed, but I'm sure there's got to be inspiration there also.
Well, it's beautiful. It's beautiful here in the desert, but usually, it's something specific every time. If I see an injustice, I wrote about this beautiful child who was killed in the Boston bombing. I wrote another song called Angel in the Snow about somebody who died. I try to find something sometimes in my music that may bring some sort of comfort to that person who was wronged. So there's some empathy, I guess, in my music as well as anger.
Again, whatever motivates, and I'm really looking forward to this. Again, we're trailing down right now out of 3 into 4. When we come back on 4, Linda, let's talk about Opening Act, my favorite independent film. Let's talk about the awards that it has garnered so far, and the many more that will be bestowed on you, because it's an amazing piece of. I like to consider it. It's a documentary, journalism, bio. Whatever it may be, it worked. It had me in stitches. From the restaurants that you ate, and the mother and the daughter and the grandmother who joined you on the set, and all the good brothers out there that lended their talent. So segment 4 coming in on Jackie's Groove. We're going to be right back with my in-studio guest, Linda Chorney, and we're going to talk about her award-winning film called The Opening Act. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short message. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink all the wine. Made up my mind, make a new start, going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let them tell you that they're all the same. Oh, the sea was red, the sky was gray. I wonder how tomorrow could ever fall today. Oh, the mountains and the canyons start to tremble and shake. Children of the sun begin to wake.
Sitting here lost in a total vibe from my in-studio guest today. That's the beautiful voice of singer-songwriter, producer, director, happily married woman who doesn't have sex anymore. I feel your pain, girl. Linda Chorney. Linda, Scott, I'm hugging you, Scott, through the phone, brother.
That might give him a boner.
Yeah, you know what? For what it takes, and whatever it works to get there, for Scott to send me a text, let me know it worked for you, brother. And I want everybody to go get a chance. Go visit Linda's website at Linda, LindaChorney.com. Go and investigate everything she's done. It's incredible. It's very, very informative, and basically it's everything Linda Chorney. You want to find out, go there, enjoy. And also go onto YouTube. I thoroughly enjoyed her speech at TEDx. Absolutely wonderful, very articulate and very funny, all the way across the board. But what I think, let's handle the task at hand right now, Linda. Let's talk about your award-winning film called The Opening Act. I'm going to step back. I want you to tell everybody what you started from the inception to the end product, how long it took, what little or how much it cost, and what you were trying to accomplish in this beautiful film. Go ahead. It's your form, girl.
Well, the film is for two kinds of people. It's for people who make their living from music or making films or arts, and those who don't. For people who do make their living from the arts, it's therapy. It's like, oh, man, yeah, that is me. I do have to do that. And for those who don't, it's like, oh, shit, that's why they need therapy. That's where we're all messed up. Look at the journey they have to take just to make their art, and then for what? So there are so many documentaries about big rock stars making their albums and sitting behind the board, and then Dave Grohl will walk in and go, "Oh man, I'll put some drums down for you," but there's not about the rest of us. 20 Feet from Stardom was one thing. Speaking of Lisa Fisher, who was on my album, which was a brilliant film,
right.
But my film was like 20 miles walking barefoot in the snow to stardom on steroids. So it's how all of us, without the resources, without the tons of money, how much time, effort, hustling, pulling favors, and money that we scrape together to make our art and get it out there, and how really hard it is that I don't think people not in the business realize what goes into it, And then in these days where you can stream music,
Right.
and even since downloads, how it's changed the income of the artist. You know, I mean, you get fractions of pennies rather than dollars on these streaming services, so you're not even making enough money back to break even. And I wanted to take the viewer in the passenger seat with me from start to finish, from the inception of a song to recording the song to making a music video of the song to afterwards, what you have to do to promote it. And as a result, financially, what happens? Yeah, I know it's like, oh, it's so rewarding making music, and if you don't love it, then we just don't do it. I make my living doing it, and a lot of people do. You know, we do it for a living, or we used to do it for a living, and you could. And the times have changed. And I am in this as well as creating, because this is what I do. I make music. I want to make money from it. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be compensated for it if we are entertaining people.
You know, and Linda, I've always said three favorite words in my vocabulary, and those words are stop stealing music.
Right.
It's a travesty of what's going on out there. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm going to get back to yours, but it's a movie documentary on I think it's Showtime. It's called All Things Must Pass. And it was created by Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son. It's about the rise and fall of Tower Records and how the internet has killed the record industry.
Yeah.
But it's oddly enough how there's still 38 Tower record stores that are thriving in Japan. You know, and you know, what is America missing here that they're getting? You know, and it's again, it's a travesty. You know, like you said, Dave Grohl said a while back in an interview that he firmly believes that within the next 5 years we will have record stores again. I don't know how you are, but I miss Record Release Tuesday. I miss going to Tower Records or Virgin Megastore and just flipping through the bins and knowing that my name is sitting in a liner note on some of these albums that are there. You know, just that whole vibe, that smell. And, you know, and I'm sure you remember that also, too. So going back to the opening act.
I'm too young, I don't remember.
Oh, please, right there with you, girl. Give me a month and year. I know that you said this was completed in 2004. Correct me if 2014.
Yeah, it took me 18 months to finish this film. Actually, no, it was just film. No, it was 2015. It's new. It's brand spanking new. You can still smell it. I finished it in the fall. I was deciding, well, when is this thing done? Because the editing process, I mean, I finished filming it in January of 2015. You know, all of the scenes had been filmed by then.
Right.
But the editing process was every day, well, including I actually was checkerboarding my new album, Oysters, at the same time as I was editing. One day I'd put up Pro Tools, the next day I'd put up Final Cut Pro. But the reason why it's starring me, I filmed it, I edited, the soundtrack, the music supervisor, the engineering, everything is done by me, not because I'm a control freak, which I am, but it's because I didn't have to pay anybody else. So if we're talking about 5,000 hours of editing by somebody, and you multiply that by whatever they get an hour, well, hell, I'm just going to learn how to do it myself, so I don't have to ask anybody else. And then I do keep control of it, the timing, what's important. And documentaries, you know, people have documentaries that are sometimes self-puff pieces. This is not one of those. This is something that I was keeping in mind. I put my hat on that has to be entertaining and interesting to somebody else.
Linda, hold that thought. We're trailing off. We're going to go into segment. No, we're going to go to segment number 5. We're going to take a little bit longer break itself because we're going to pick it up where we left off because this is intriguing to me as well, the listeners. This is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned into Jackie's Groove on the Intertalk Radio Network with my in-studio guest this afternoon, Ms. Linda Chorney. Don't go anywhere. Much more to follow. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy Award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Looks like I'm not getting lucky tonight. You can carry a gun, but you can't carry a beer. You can set it on the ground and use it as a target, but you can't drink it there. Oh, I'm in love with the Catalina Mountains and the whales and the Ocotillos too. There ain't nothing like the sunset out west, cracking my frosty brew. But you can carry a gun, but you can't carry a beer. You can set it on my head and use it as a target, but you can't drink it.
I had to come back with this song, The Cantina. Again, this is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned into Jackie's Groove on the Intertalk Radio Network. That, to me, is one of the fun, when you see and you get the privilege to see the opening act by Linda Chorney, my in-studio guest, you're going to see the path that this film takes you on. I not only saw it one time, I enjoyed it so much I watched it the following day, and I was pretty honored when Linda asked me to give it a quote. And to be in such company as the president, Joe Emile at Manhattan Pictures International, I want to read a quote that I have to parallel his thoughts. And he says, and I quote, "When someone can be so open to make you laugh and cry and root for just 63 minutes," in which I did, "you know it's special, something very special." And some Joe, he also says that when it's also entertaining, it's brilliant. Linda Chorney proved something to her fans and herself that her fame is in front of her. I could not agree with that more than 300%. It's been a long time since I actually sat down and watched something crazy, fun, a labor of love, for the lack of a better word, And we all talk about labor of loves, The success behind every company, and again, since with Intertalk Network, we're breaking all records across the board. Jackie's Groove is definitely the leader in that. And behind thank you, honey. And behind every company, there's always that person in there. And I have my CEO, and hopefully he's going to be on board. He's out doing business right now. But the CEO of Intertalk Radio, his name is Florentino Bonaventura. Here's a man that's been busting his ass to keep this steamship moving, and he is all of a sudden he's finding that he had to watch out what he wished for because it's taken off. And I can't even talk at this point because of a lot of heavy-duty talent that are going to be debuting their shows on Intertalk Network. So take your time to go to intertalk.com and intertalkradio.com and take a look at all the shows that are on board itself. And we're really, really proud of what we're doing and how we're bringing talent to the forefront. Thank you, my love. And so with that said, I'm going to wait for a little bit later to get Tino on because he's having a hard time getting in. But the Cantina. Let's go back for a second here, and let's go back for the remainder of this segment, and let's talk about the opening act. Let's first talk about the awards that it's garnered so far.
Well, I absolutely was shocked. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was in the Asbury Park Music and Film Festival, along with Frank Zappa's film and Colin Hay, and Don Cheadle was with Miles Ahead, great film. And for the opening act to have taken home Best Music Documentary, I was dumbfounded, and I was like, wow. I felt like Sally Fields, like, wow, they really liked me, And when you're so close to a film and it is about you, so of course, I'm in it. Oh, it's going to be great. Look at me. Right. I tried again to keep in mind while I was editing this film, just because it's interesting to you doesn't make it interesting, period. So you better have something to say and make a point. And I really, during the whole film, it really is not about me. It's about the journey of what every indie goes through, and so that people understand what we go through. Do they care? Maybe they don't, but I tried to make it entertaining enough so that they were vested in it, and that seems to be the case. And then I also won the Arizona Independent Film competition, so for Best Documentary. So I'm pretty excited. Of course, I tried to get into Telluride and didn't get in there. I didn't bother with Cannes, and I didn't do Sundance, but I'm just submitted it into another one. But right now, what I'm working on is trying to get distribution on this thing, because I was recently another woman, Cindy Paulos, who, by the way, she was the first female DJ on K-Rock in L.A., and she had me on her show, and she's like, every musician needs to see this film, and then everybody else. I'm like, well, that's cool. Let's get her done.
Hopefully this broadcast, in fact, when we archive the show, probably within the next few hours after we go off the air, I will send you the link. So definitely, promote and whore yourself out as much as you can. And,
that's very kind.
and the CEO, Florentino Benaventura, is on the phone right now because he's a huge fan of yours also, and he understands what it's like to scrimp and scrave and to buck the system, to say, for lack of a better word. So what I want to do is I want to bring on Florentino. Say hi to Linda. Linda, say hi to Florentino.
Hey, Linda, how you doing?
Hi, Florentino. How are you?
I'm great. I'm actually at location right now over at Pitbull Audio, one of our incredible sponsor who's been taking care of us with Jackie's show, and I'm here with Shane and Victoria, and they're actually we're getting some new gear for a new studio and a bunch of other stuff, and it's
cool.
It's a great company that really looks after the musicians, about the independent artists, much like yourself and much like us as a radio network. So we definitely could appreciate all the things that you're doing out there, being the first Grammy-nominated independent label artist. That's huge, and then bucking the system where it's been a male-dominated industry. We appreciate a little bit more estrogen in this business. So it's been awesome.
Oh, well, that's really kind of you. And yeah, I mean, indies, we got to work. We have to work just a little bit harder, don't we?
Yeah. But that's that's what drives the industry. Any industry is driven by the spirit and the passion of kind of the entrepreneurial spirit, and you've kind of proven that more than you've kind of taken the artistic perspective and really kind of amplified that with the entrepreneurial spirit that you have, and all the great film works that you do, as well as the musical endeavors, and it's kind of cool that our Americana sound is really kind of coming into its own now, really kind of starting to make a huge impact in the way music's made now.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. It's definitely an uphill battle, and I don't know. I guess I'm tired.
Are we all right? I left the gig with Microsoft, which was a pretty cushy job to take this on because someone said, "Hey, we need to have a stronger voice in this business," and I said, "Well, somebody's got to do it. Let's kind of start this off with my partner Paul, who's there manning the boards, and then Jackie came on board, and it's just been gangbusters for us. And
fantastic.
We've love seeing talent like yours excel, and anything we can do to help you out. You just let us know. You got the full support and weight of the station on board with you.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, and I hope I get to meet you next time I'm out. I assume you're on the West Coast?
I am on the West Coast. Yeah, San Diego.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll be coming out there soon enough, and if there's a film festival out that way, who knows?
Perfect. Well, hey, let us know. We will promote the heck out of the event for you, and anything we can do. You are now a sister in arms.
you as a pit bull. Say hi to those guys for me.
Yeah, I will. We will definitely say hi to. Linda says hi. Victoria's waving at you, and Shane's waving. They're a little bit shy, but they're definitely they're dynamos here. If you need anything, they'll take care of you here.
Oh, thank you. I need some strings. No.
Well, Victoria, get it out to you. They'll send it. They anywhere in the world they could actually get you gear.
Oh, that's friggin' awesome. Thanks. I'll come visit you guys when I come out there for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, right, brother. I'll talk to you off the air. And Linda, we're going to be rolling out. I can't believe this, going out of 5 into 6, and we're not even beginning to talk about the opening act.
How many do we have?
We've got 14. No, I'm kidding. We've got 8. So we've got
oh my goodness,
got another 3 segments, 6, 7, and 8. So let's promote. Let's get everybody chomping at the bit to see the opening act. And so, as I said, we're running off now the last 30 seconds of segment number 5, going into 6, with my in-studio guest, Linda Chorney. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the depths and the being in the trenches and the making of the opening act, award-winning film, The Opening Act. When we come back on segment number 6 on Jackie's Groove, this is Jackie Bertoni, brought to you by the Intertalk Radio Network. Again, we are your music industry insider. You don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned for more from Linda Chorney and Jackie Bertoni. What a duo. Stay tuned.
Are Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy Award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Tell me what's become of me, ridden with anxiety. Things I used to handle seem so hard. The $1,000,000 question stares me in the face. Answer left without a trace, leaving us randomly together in this place. And I can't find my boots, they must have walked away. I went upstairs and can't remember why. And I can't find my boots. No, I can't find my boots. No, I can't find my boots today. What if there is no plan? No reason to understand. Only need to know you take my hand to get me through this tangled mess. Pull off my boots and get undressed. It's hold each other close without regrets. I can't find my boots, they must have walked away. I went upstairs and can't remember why. And I can't find my boots, no, I can't find my boots, no, I can't find my boots today.
That song is entitled Boots, from my in-studio guest, Linda Chorney. Actually, that's one of her own favorite songs. And a little bit of word to the wise, Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande and all the other crap that's out there. Listen to how music should be written. And listeners out there, educate yourself, because it's a lost art, and hopefully an art that will be found again. An amazing song, Boots, with my in-studio guest, singer, songwriter, producer, filmmaker, author, and all-around great lady. Please welcome back to the show, Linda Chorney. Linda, hi, honey.
Hi. I just sedated myself listening to Boots. You know, that song was, this is the first album, Oysters, that I actually co-wrote 2 songs on the album. That one was written with Ed Roth. Have you come across Ed Roth? Killer keyboard player, producer, Los Angeles. He plays with that branch of the Chicago band. I think it's Chicago. And he's just, Sophie B. Hawkins, he produces, and we got together. Actually, when I had my song When I Sing, which I recorded at East West, where the Beach Boys did Pet Sound.
Right.
And he and I got along really well, and we co-wrote the song. I wrote the lyrics, and we both wrote the music together. And again, you had asked me earlier about what motivates me to write. You know, I'm at a point in my life, I'm 56 years old now, where it's other things you think about, like where you put your boots. No, because I'll walk upstairs and I'll go, what the hell did I go upstairs for? And then you start thinking ahead, like I'm with Scott now, you know, I found my love. But when I'm older, and let's say I do forget, let's say I get Alzheimer's or something, God forbid, but, you know, are you going to be there to take care of me? And you're feeling this anxiety and loss the older you get. You know, people are dying off left and right. The world seems more insane now with this presidential election, and just all the insanity going on in the world. Sometimes you just can't friggin' take it. So I write songs. The end.
You know, that's a perfect analogy itself, because I can't believe at my advanced age, in fact, you and I are the same age, which is so cool, that I ever thought we'd get to this point, you know, in life where we finally are more vocal of the fact that we are living in the most corrupt nation, in my personal opinion. I'm sure I'm going to get shit from the listeners out there and so on, and how fucked up America really is. And people say, you don't know what it's like.
Here's the deal. Yeah, every country is fucked up, but
of course.
We shouldn't be. We should. It's supposed to be the land of the free and justice for all, and you know the justice system is fucked. Everything's fucked here, and we're supposed to be better than that.
You know, in prior to 9/11, I have friends of mine throughout the world, as I'm sure you also do. We were the bee's knees. We were the shining star for other countries out there. Unfortunately, now the way we're viewed as a fucking joke. And it is nothing worse than people thinking that a presidential election or an election is that person in office runs the country. The president does not run our country. The president hasn't run this country for years. Unfortunately, it's becoming more to the forefront now that it's run by the banks, in my personal opinion, but I'm sure opinions shared by millions. I think it's disgusting.
Banks, insurance, you know, it's the health, it's all that. However, regardless of whether or not a president runs it or not, we cannot have Trump. And again, I want you said, you ended a segment saying Trump hater. It's not that I don't hate Trump. I hate Trump as running for president. He has no business running for president. He's a moron, but he's manipulating the sheep, and they are drinking the Kool-Aid and asking for more. And it's actually frightening, and that it is representing the United States in a very poor light. You know, the rest of the world, we're not better than anybody else. You know, I said we're better than that when I was talking about how the United States is supposed to be this place that's free. I mean, I've traveled most of the world. And there is nothing wrong with friggin' socialized medicine. I mean, to me, Bernie Sanders was the only honest guy running, the only one. And my heart is crushed that he's not going to be the guy, because I think he would have changed the direction. And I know it's not quite over, but it seems like it is over for him. And I had so much respect. I'm like in love with him. He's hilarious. He's real. He is not corrupt. And that's what we need, and it's just too deep.
But we're not used to that in America, though. We thrive on corruption. We thrive on somebody telling us what we're going to do. I mean, excuse my French again, but this fuck Ted, what's his name? I don't know what his name again.
Mr. Haney.
Mr. Haney, Al Lewis from the Munsters. I mean,
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah, he is the reason why America's in the shits. This family values, and this is the kind of guy who gets caught fucking pigs in a barn. I mean, this is like the Jerry Falwell and all these people that are out there pointing fingers and shaking their fingers, but it's just ridiculous.
He makes me nauseous. He does. The only person, I love. Did you see Chris Matthews interview Trump when he pinned him down on, well, what are you going to do about abortion? What are you going to make? Are you going to punish the woman? And then he actually said that, the men shouldn't be held accountable for any of it. I wanted to just vomit. And the problem is also the media are a bunch of pussies. Chris Matthews was the only guy who stuck to it, and I hope when it comes down to the debates that the media grows some fucking balls and asks the right questions and don't let them get away with these sound bites that mean nothing.
Well, Trump talks about how he wants to make America great, but he hasn't told anybody how he's going to do that. And everybody, you ask somebody, a Trump supporter, about how they are going to, put their best foot forward to making America great. And again, they've overindulged themselves. They've got a belly full of liquid called Kool-Aid that they just don't understand what it is. And Trump has got that manipulative way about him, and he just nods his head and points at a black wall and says, "Isn't that a beautiful purple wall?" And they all keep nodding their head.
I actually went to a Trump rally. I went incognito to a Trump rally. I have a whole piece on it on Vimeo, and right now it's not public, but I can share it. But
you should.
I asked these people, and then I also talked to the protesters too, because I wanted to be fair about it. Not steer it in one direction. And some of the protesters don't really know. They were getting angry, and they were getting in the face of some of these redneck people, and they weren't approaching it in a productive manner. So a lot of them are just angry as well. But these other people have a right to be morons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But it's very sad. It's very sad that, first of all, why are we afraid of socialism? Because the pharmaceutical companies are not going to profit as much, and the insurance companies aren't going to profit as much. Therefore, they're feeding this thing that it's a bad thing. Why the fuck wouldn't you want health care and education? There's no reason why we can't make college free, state colleges free again, because we are behind when it comes to statistics and education. We are behind. And, Europeans speak several languages. They're worldly. A lot of Americans don't know shit about the rest of the world, and they don't care. They live in a bubble, and they are being manipulated. And
but they do
really
know about
sad.
They know everything about the Kardashians, and they can name each one of the girls, emphatically. Which again, too, these things like Access Television or ETV and all this shit that's about the paparazzi and so on. I look at this stuff, and I'm planting my palm into my forehead, and I see this stuff, and again, we're going to pick this up again. We're at 30, end of 30. See, Linda, this has gone by. It's by light speed again. We're going out of 6, and we're coming back into 7. We've got to pick back up. I want to get everybody back in tune to the opening act, and also your book. Yeah, Who the Fuck is Linda Chorney? Okay. And we've got 2 more seconds to talk about that. So let's take advantage of that next 24 minutes, and let's sell, and promote, and educate. Something we do the best here on Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni with my in-studio guest today, Linda Chorney. You guys don't want to go anywhere. There's more to come. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
On and we cling to our loving mothers like little monkeys. And we crawl and we walk and we talk, and Dad pushes us from behind. The bicycle screaming, pedal as fast as you can and don't stop. And then you put your tooth under the pillow in the morning and you get money from a fairy. And you talk to believe in God, and life's just a great big bowl of cherries. Your life's a great big bowl of cherries. Too innocent to notice all the bits. But what's to become, we don't know.
Life's a Big Bowl of Cherries. This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. I'm actually sitting in my studio right now with a big bowl of basmati rice. I'm starving. And I'm taking well advantage of this amazing show with my in-studio guest. I'm not going to read through it again. I mean, this girl does everything. She's a singer, songwriter, producer, guitar player, vocalist, / filmmaker, award-winning filmmaker, and a best-selling author. And we're going to pick up where we left off because we've only got 2 segments left. This is segment 7. We've got one more after this segment 8. And I want to get back into the opening act, her award-winning film. Linda, continue on with this. Let's get back into this and let people walk in your shoes, if not for this next segment, of how you struggled with this film and what the outcome is going to be.
Well, the film wasn't really a struggle. It just kind of happened organically, and it was really fun. And I didn't wear any makeup or, stage anything. It just kind of happened. And there's a funny story. There's a couple of Hollywood guys who were looking at this film and like, well, it's a great film, but she kind of doesn't look that great in a few of those scenes there, kind of homely. It's like, it was so real that I didn't friggin' bother putting makeup on, and there were scenes where I'm crying or waking up in the morning. Yeah, it's just real, and I'm going to keep it that way. But
I love the scene in the bathroom with you weighing yourself. That, to me, was one of the funniest. I mean, that was hysterical. My wife was, like, giving you a high five. She's saying, you go, girl, because every girl is looking to, to lose a couple pounds, right?
Yeah, well, when you're on film. But getting back to wrapping up, we were talking about in politics. The superdelegates, okay? You've got what's between Bernie and Hillary is basically it's going to end up being the 500 superdelegates that Hillary has that he doesn't. Now, so it's basically not really democracy because if there were not superdelegates involved, then it might be a tie. It's going to be a lot closer race. But what do superdelegates do? They control who wins. They want to make sure that the gatekeepers control who gets in there because of their interests. Now I'm going to segue over to my Grammy nomination. That song you just played, Cherries, was the second cut on Emotional Jukebox. And when I made that album, I had no intentions of putting it into the Grammys. I was 50 years old. I had long songs and giant solos and didn't give a shit about airplay because I didn't think that was going to happen. It was my 6th album. My husband made me join the Grammy organization. Really, he made me because I was like, why am I going to do this? I don't want to send 17 CDs in. That's a lot of sales. and so I did, and I put it in I put Cherries in for Best Song. Why not? I'll put that in for Song of the Year. I don't have a chance. And then I put it in for Album of the Year, and then I put it in for Americana Album of the Year because people told me that my genre is Americana. Well, lo and behold, as you know, I was nominated, the first independent artist without a label, publicist, or manager to get nominated for Best Americana Album. It was me, Emmylou Harris, Lucinda Williams, Ry Cooder, and the late, great Levon Helm.
But they didn't get a rash of shit like you got for this. I mean, you got death threats.
Of course they didn't get. Right. Yeah. So what happened, again, it was, at the time, it was a democracy. So I received X amount of votes, which was in the top 5. Now, what they've done since then, and the Grammy organization are going to roll their eyeballs and go, oh, there she goes telling again. But, the truth should be told. And they put in a committee. So rather than the actual top 5 in any category, there's only a couple of categories left that are a pure democracy.
Right.
They have their own superdelegates, basically. So the top 15 that come in will be debated on with those guys, like a caucus, I guess, and they decide who the top 5 are. And in fact, they can decide that somebody who didn't even make the top 15 be nominated. They can have 2 wild card slots. That's how it was. Again, it wasn't that way before I got nominated. So it was this big stink. Why was it that I was given all this shit? People ask me, like, well, why did they give you crap, Linda? You've been doing this a long time and blah, blah, blah. It's because, in my opinion, nobody profited off of my nomination. I got past the gatekeepers, and it pissed them off because they did not control me, and the category is controlled by the Americana Association. They were really the ones who were behind all of the venom. It was not the Grammy organization. However, the Americana Association put so much pressure on the Grammy organization because one of their own didn't get in that they placed these delegates, this committee, into Americana and a few more categories now. So I wrote the book because, I'm somebody who's been playing at bars for 30 years, coming up, people saying, well, you sound like Sheryl Crow, blah, 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 why aren't you famous, da-da-da. Well, it just never happened for me. I never got my break. And then all of a sudden I get my break, I get nominated, but they try to slam the door in my face. So just like my songs, which are mini therapy, this is a 412-page book of how the fuck I got through that. Walking up that mountain my entire life, trying to make it, believing in myself, just like a lot of you listeners out there who are musicians, you're good enough to make it, you just didn't have your break. Well, I thought I'd finally gotten my break, and they tried to break me instead. But you cannot put baby in the corner. I wrote a book, and then now fast forward to the movie. I actually want to make a feature film on my story, on what happened, including publicists that were really nasty. I became the enemy of publicists because imagine you're Jeff Bridges and the company of Jeff Bridges, because he was in that category too and did not get in. And let's say you pay your publicist $100,000 a year to be your publicist, and then somebody who has no publicist and no manager gets in. They're going to say, why the fuck am I paying you $100,000 when she got in for nothing? So I become the enemy of everybody behind that gate, behind that wall, and so I want to make a movie about that. But in the meantime, and that's going to cost a lot of money, I just decided to make this documentary, which is about how hard it is for independent artists to create art. And in my case, I got all the way to the Grammys, and I'm still back at square one when it comes to budget.
Linda, have you ever wanted or felt that you needed to demure to the industry itself, kind of like drink that Kool-Aid and play the game just to get yourself to that next level?
I can't do it. I can't kiss ass. I cannot bend over and I know it sounds really bad. I think of myself a little like Bernie Sanders, and some people just want him to shut up. And but I can't. I have to tell the truth, and I can't play the games. I just can't. So Again, I've made my own bed.
If you throw enough shit against the wall, something's gonna stick. I mean that's a given. I mean. You don't give up. I mean, I know, God knows. I mean, when this was my idea of coming up with Jackie's Groove, I knew it was going to work. I'm the same way too. I played the game, and but now that we're breaking all records, I'm finding myself in a position to do what I want to do. And with guests like you, and with guests like you, it makes it that much more open. And it's funny trying to get name brand acts coming in. It was very, very difficult. My boy, Al Di Meola, the most prolific guitar player in the history of music, he was my fourth interview, and we are now his direct media source for his 2016 electric tour called Elegant Gypsy Meets the Romantic Warrior. Yeah, so we're really, really excited about that. And thanks to Florentino for putting that together. And, two good brains, can move mountains. And speaking of moving mountains, I'm going to move this mountain of an interview over to segment number 8 on this short break. Linda, this next segment, sell your ass off, girl. Whore yourself out. Let's talk about where we can find Linda, where we can stalk Linda, and everything about Linda Chorney. So when we come back on segment number 8, now tell me this doesn't feel like this ran by in 15 minutes. 2 hours interview with my beautiful girl, Linda Chorney. We'll be right back after these messages. Again, this is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned into Jackie's Groove, brought to you by the Inner Talk Radio Network, your music insider, the leader. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy Award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Watch you not look back at me. We don't seem to be on the same page. We wrote history on what we thought we would be. Now everything's different. We have a new story. Can't seem to find our way back to when we cherished each other and when we wanted to be together. Why can't we be We used to fight for each other, and now we just fight with each other. No matter how many times we try to analyze, we point the fingers that we're our
Hey everybody, this is Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni, segment 8 out of 2 hours with my in-studio guest, an amazing girl, Linda Chorney. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my sponsors, LP Music Group and lpmusic.com, my instrument of choice, and SIR Studio Instrument Rentals at SIR-USA.com. And I want to spread a special shout out to our biggest sponsor. Are you listening, Calvin? Are you guys listening over there at Pitbull Audio? Please visit them at pitbullaudio.com, where they just want you to play it loud and they want you to spend some money with them. No, it's not some. Spend a lot of money with them. The more you spend there, the more we get on this side. Thank you guys very much for everything you do for us and for believing in Intertalk Radio and Jackie's Groove. And again, for talking about not spending money, go ahead and download our free app on iPhone and Google Play Android. Just type in 2 words. Intertalk is the first word, and radio is the second word, and take Jackie's Groove and Intertalk Radio and our shows on the go with you. Now that I've sold myself, Linda, time to whore yourself out, girl. Where can we find Linda Chorney? Where can we stock Linda Chorney? Where can we buy swag from Linda Chorney? Go ahead. The forum is now yours, girl.
Okay. Well, that last song, When We, is on my latest album, Oysters. And you can get Oysters, Emotional Jukebox, all 7 of my albums at lindachorney.com. I don't have a lot of them streaming anymore because I don't want to. My book also, which, by the way, isn't just 412 pages of complaining. It's actually pretty funny because you get to laugh at my expense, because I had no idea what I was doing once I was at that level, and I did not expect there to be bad guys. And so you can just learn from my mistakes and just enjoy the ride, because it is pretty funny. Actually, it's a comedy of errors, and I promise you it's a great read. And the movie, the opening act, I'm still doing the film festival circuit, but I'm working on distribution. Of course, I hope I get it on HBO or Showtime, and I hope to put it into, maybe the Grammys or the Oscars.
Will you allow Jackie's Groove and Intertalk to help you with this?
Of course I will. That would be really lovely of you guys to do that. And we can all go together. We'll get a table.
Lynn, I got to ask you a question, though, because, first and foremost, you are an amazing artist. Do you remember the first time you ever heard yourself on the radio? Where were you? What song was it? And most importantly, what were you feeling when you heard yourself for the first time?
Holy shit. I think it was I broke the top 40 when I was 40 years old. And it was a song called Living Alone. And Lisa Fisher, that's where I met Lisa. She did backup vocals for me, and it was in New York. I was so close to getting signed with Sony, and then the vice president got fired, and the deal got dropped, and it broke my hat. But hearing my song on the radio and breaking the top 40 was really cool. But that being said, pulling the curtain back, from the great Oz, you have to pay a radio promoter. A radio promoter costs a shitload of money. So it's basically payola in another form. And actually, in my book, there's this guy who calls me up. His name is Fred Bonig, and he was on the board of the Americana Association. He called me up and told me inside secrets. It was fascinating, and how spins are manipulated and fake, and how people get to the top. That's when I started writing the book, because I found the story fascinating. Even though I was the subject matter of getting fucked,
right.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, I just have to write this down. This is amusing. And I made myself laugh, and that's how I got through it. But yes, I was thrilled to hear myself on the radio. With Mom on the radio. I was very happy.
And that's the whole vibe itself. It's going out there and it's promoting yourself first and foremost. But your talent is going to take you above and beyond. I mean, you keep saying the fact that in your age of 56, girl, there's been great things, greater things that have happened to people at older ages, and just don't lose that vibe, don't lose that drive, and that, and also
I haven't.
I know you haven't.
Drive, just the sex drive. I don't.
Scott, I'm sorry again,
Any
Scott.
Any women out there listening in their 50s, if they're married, they might know it. Yeah, things don't cooperate.
My wife is high-fiving you. Yeah, my wife Caprice is high-fiving you in the background in the studio right now. So
nice.
No,
yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
tell Scott to get close to the radio here and just tell him I want to give him a hug, and I feel his pain. And
hi, baby.
It's all good. You know, Linda, again, you know,
what?
I become a fan. I become a fan of yours. I just dig your vibe. I just like that whole stripped down, no auto tune, no bullshit, no glam squad. It just gets down to the the roots and rock of the music business itself. It's still, you know, it's going to come back. It's going to come back tenfold. I want to believe that. And, you know, and again, closing up here, I wanted to find out itself, if I was to hijack your Prius or your iPhone or whatever, your music library, what am I going to hear in there? Where's Linda? What's she grooving to? What are you listening to?
Okay. I am listening to sometimes classical music because it calms me down.
Right.
I listen to a lot of Allman Brothers, Led Zeppelin. Like I said, I'm stuck in classic rock world. I just am. I'm stuck in it. Although, you know,
you mean real music?
What's that?
I said, you mean real music?
Oh, yeah. But you know what? There's some people out there now. There's a guy named Arlen Files, who I love, singer-songwriter. You know, when Ben Harper came out, it was like, wow, here's somebody new. When Pearl Jam came out, I was like, oh, I can get behind this. This is really good. Like, occasionally this stuff comes out, and I'm sure there's a lot of great artists out there right now, but they're just not getting the exposure who are in that vein of organic, real friggin' music, not this auto-tone. I really do resent the machine for churning out the shit. That, you know, there's some good stuff out there, but why does the production have to be so cheeseball?
You know what's even worse is, what's even worse is, why is my fucking clock ticking down to 28 seconds left in this amazing interview? I can talk the rest of the day with you, girl. Listeners, please, guys, download Linda Chorney, stalk her, lindachorney.com, social media. Get behind this girl's music. Get behind this girl's vibe. There should be more women out there like this. There should be more musicians out there that aren't folding to corporate music structure itself. Godspeed, girl. As I say with all my episodes, and I finish up by saying peace through music, this is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned to Jackie's Groove, and check in on this coming Wednesday when I interview my dear friend, Carl Parasso, timbale player, percussionist from the group Santana. Don't go anywhere. Thanks so much, guys. We love you. Stay in the groove. Peace.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
I have some good news for a change. With the stressful times upon us, having a regular glass of wine has proved in many studies to reduce stress. Want some more stress-relieving tips? VinVillage.com is an exciting new social organization connecting wine lovers around the country with an exclusive local and online wine lifestyle experience. Vin Village members can meet others online and in person, attend wine dinners and tastings, participate in forums, blogs, and wikis, purchase limited and exclusive wines, even create your own wine. You heard me. Create your own wine. And best yet, membership is free. So reduce some of the stress and have some fun. Join now and connect with thousands of other like-minded wine lovers. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com. That's www.vinvillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.